You know, overcoming fear, I think, will probably be one of the biggest things that you have to overcome if you want to start a YouTube channel. If you want to start vlogging, if you want to do what I'm doing here right now, and I can tell you now, it's still taking a lot to get used to it. And there's tools and different things that I'm learning along the way that I'm going to share with you that I recommend towards the end of this video that you can implement to be able to start making things easier so that you can overcome that fear. But the first thing that we need to understand is that the only way is through. If you want to do anything in life, there will always be a level of discomfort. There will always be something that you have to get through. You know, that could be going to university and having to put the studying in, feeling a bit dumb at the beginning, to learning a new job, to being that new person at work, going through the discomfort of no one knowing you, being the new person, getting time to discover the ropes, going to the gym and realizing that you're just not strong enough. You've got to go through the pain, the muscle ache, the struggle, getting up out of bed early. Whatever the pain is, you have to choose that. You have to work your way through that pain. You have to overcome that discomfort. Because if you don't, then you have to choose your regrets. And inevitably, we have to choose things that are going to be regrets in life anyways. But you have to choose that, otherwise you miss out on opportunities in life. And all of the things that you want are on the other side of fear. So they're on the other side of discomfort. And I'll tell you a story that I've never really shared with anyone. I've shared with a few people, but I've definitely never shared it online. And that's that, believe it or not, I was nearly on mainstream television for a morning breakfast show. And by that, I mean a mainstream breakfast show, the type that your mum would watch on a Saturday morning. So these sort of long ones that take up the whole of the sort of brunch section of the Saturday morning. And I'm talking like 20, 25 years ago. Yeah, the type of one that your mum was watching. And it's the ones where they've got the celebrity chefs on, they're talking on different subjects, they're interviewing different people throughout the morning, and they're doing all these different types of segments and everything else. So I was very nearly on this. And what they basically wanted was someone to mix cocktails. So they wanted someone just like the celebrity chefs that come in and cook a meal each weekend. They wanted someone to do a cocktail. And I was working for sort of a media company, media members club, if you will, quite a high-end one. And I'd basically worked really hard. I'd actually been a cocktail bartender, and then I worked my way up to bar manager. I'd done cocktail competitions around the world. I say around the world, to represent the world. I was in the Cocktail World Cup for the UK. And, I wasn't the best of the best. There was people way better than me. But I was very good. And I was consistent, and I'd worked my way to the top of my game. And my boss in this members club, he really liked me. So the owner, he really liked me. And we got on very well. And when somebody in the TV breakfast show came to him and said, is there anybody within your whole business that you would recommend to do this morning slot, someone that you would potentially trust, and that you think is good enough? And he recommended me. And, I was eternally grateful for that. And I thought, this is a massive opportunity. I'm going to be able to, can you imagine? I mean, this is reaching the peak of your sort of career. Obviously, you're moving up in terms of management and everything else, but it was never the management part I really liked that much. It was the creativity and all of that. There was many other aspects of it, creating cocktails, coming up with menus, training staff, all of this stuff I absolutely loved. The managering part, yeah, it's a bit mundane. So I basically, in some ways, reached the top. After all those years of hard work, here was this massive opportunity. So anyways, I go into the TV studio because they want to do like a test filming. And I've got a Bloody Mary, I think it was, prepped. So I've got this Bloody Mary recipe. I've got all the ingredients. Here I am dressed in a suit, all the spotlights and everything else. And I'm standing behind this sort of fake TV style bar. And anyways, they record it and I do my cocktail and I am stressed. I'm sweating, I've got the fear. So, his sweaty armpits, the back of that suit, I can tell you now, was pretty damn sweaty. And, obviously they could see I was a bit uncomfortable. But they were pretty happy. The screening went well. They did everything. They were happy with everything. And ultimately, it was mine for the taking. They said it was mine to refuse. And it was great. And they would be starting, within the sort of month or whatever else. And the fear that I felt, the sort of panic, the real discomfort, was quite overwhelming. And I basically went away and thought about it and thought, well, I've got quite a comfortable life. Everything's good. I'm climbing the ladder. Things are going well. Do I really want this stress in my life? And believe it or not, I said no. I decided not to do it. Even though I knew, can you imagine how many doors and how much this would shortcut success in life? I didn't want to go through the discomfort of being on camera. So I chose to start an events company and be more behind the scenes and everything else because I decided I liked logistics more of an introvert. So I like all the logistics of doing that stuff in the background. And the irony is, here I am on camera, growing a YouTube channel. I create many online courses. I coach people. I'm on camera all of the time. Hey, doggy. I'm on TV camera all the time. And it was discomfort and uncomfortable for me to get through that as well. So I let fear take away an opportunity that would have opened so many doors and shortcut so many things in life. Even if I just did that for a year, say, all of the contacts, connections, the profile and personal branding for myself would have opened up doors and given me so many opportunities. And yet I let fear decide that that wasn't right for me. I did the old, I'm not going to do this, I don't need this, and do I really want this? I talked myself out of it and justified it because I didn't want that fear. And now I could have said to them, look, I need a few more practice sessions in the studio before we go live. I could have practiced at work. There's so many things I could have done to have made that easier. So rather than just rejecting it and going, no, it's not for me. It's not for me. I don't feel comfortable. I'm not going to do it. So I literally dropped that opportunity. So this is what I want you to understand. Like it's one of those opportunities where you have to decide what your regrets are. So you've got to push through. And the question is, I've made some big changes in life, and I can speak to myself, but I think research has shown this, that we only really make big, lasting changes in life if it comes with massive pain. Because the pain has to be bigger than the discomfort to make the change. And I can say that this is most definitely true because I've had a liquidated company, relationships go bad, have to move back in with parents. All of these things have basically caused more discomfort than the actual pain of pushing through that discomfort, being say on camera or whatever else. So when you read books like Atomic Habit or The Compound Effect, in the great books, I highly recommend it, you'll realize that the only way other than massive pain, especially as we get older, because we get stuck in our ways, it's a bit like it's too good, things are too good to move, but too bad to stay. So you get stuck in this limbo where actually if things were worse in your life, you'd be more likely to take action. So it's a bizarre paradox. It's why we probably stay in relationships too long, jobs we hate too long, lives we hate too long. So the only other way to make lasting change is with micro habits, daily habits, like Atomic Habits sort of says, where you're doing these small bite-sized things that eventually compound and give you the desired result that you want. Because then you start to snowball. It's like that snowball rolling down the hill that starts to bring in the desired result. And then you get the momentum, then you get excited, and then you continue to push, and things get easier and easier the more it rolls down the hill. So this is what you need to do. This is what we do with the training inside our community. It's broken down across a number of months, bite-sized pieces to take you all the way to monetization. So what I would say in terms of what you're going to do, I mean, obviously you can join our community. I'll link to that in the description if you want our help and support pushing you through that and getting that momentum yourself. But otherwise, I would just say, start to break down the obstacle. Get on camera, record yourself like I am now, and don't upload it. I've got plenty of videos on this channel that tell you how to document your video format and do it the right way. So go create videos, start to test the different formats, talk to different strategies, talk to different stories, speak to your avatar and create videos on that actual topic. You don't even have to upload them. You can just literally do them for yourself so that you get gradually more and more used to it. So it's a bit like, I don't know, exposure therapy, where you're slowly sort of exposing yourself gradually over time. I guess it's exactly like going to the gym. You're slowly going to look better in the mirror. You're going to feel stronger over time, healthier, and you're going to start to see the results. But it's going to take days and weeks for that to happen. So this is what I would say to you. Break things down. Get used to being out like this. If you're going to be recording outside, go to find areas where you don't need to be in public. Because yes, I gradually want to expose myself to more people and everything else. But if you don't need to, why would you? Like, I'm not a travel vlog. I don't need to film in restaurants. I don't need to film on tours. So why would I do it? So that's what you need to ask yourself. Do you need to do it? Or are you just recording your thoughts and your stories, and you're educating people on particular topics or whatever you're doing? So you don't necessarily have to go somewhere where there's a lot of people. And the odd person, just say hello to them as they walk by or whatever else, and just make out like it's normal. And you'll get easier and it'll get more and more comfortable. So the hardest thing will always be just starting in the first place. Break it down into bite-sized pieces so that you at least minimize the dose of fear that you get every time, so you can gradually increase that strength and exposure to that fear, and it will never feel that bad. It may never feel that easy, but it will at least get easier and easier over time. And as I said, if you would like more help and support, then you can join our community, which I will link to in the video description. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you inside the next one.